Hello everyone, it's Blaze, and welcome to an interesting video. So, in my reaction to Can Yugimoto Win Total Drama, I was wondering if you guys would want to see me do my own Total Drama What If. I figured, yeah, why not do it? So, what if I was in Total Drama? But who would I be replacing? It would be Ezekiel. I don't exactly know why, I would just pick him. But I'm not going to give myself like these overpowered skills. I'm going to be realistic as possible. Like, can I realistically win it in this show? So, without delay, let's start this thing. So, episode 1 will probably just be normal. I would just have a normal intro, and once we get to the cliff dive, I would jump. I would be hella scared and probably need a pep talk from one of my teammates, but I would probably be able to make it. Courtney, DJ, Beth still would not be jumping, so they would be the chickens, and in the show it would be seem like well, so the Screaming Gophers would still win since they obviously have better team working skills and have more jumpers. So it would be down to DJ and Courtney because that's what there originally was until Ezekiel said something sexist. But I would still say Courtney would go home first. Yeah, her personality was not that good in the first few episodes, but she definitely got better as the season went on, and then season 2 and 3 happened. And All Stars, oh boy, we don't talk about those. Well, I did in my ranking video of all the characters, so go watch that. But episode 3, I would try and help calm Eva when her MP3 player would, because I had anger issues as a kid, so I would understand her, but it would probably not work. Out of the elimination, where I would be eliminated, I'll probably be around the 7th last one, because I have stayed up for an entire day once, or for a full 24 hours once, but it was not a fun time. But still, I would still be good, but not good enough to beat like everyone, like Duncan, Eva, Gwen. Like, I would not be able to beat any of those. One thing I would say to make it easier, because it was a little confusing who it was, I would say the eliminated competitors would be taken away from the area so we could keep track accurately of who's still awake and who's not, because it was a little confusing. But so I would still say Gwen would still win because Duncan would fall asleep on the can, and Eva would still go rageaholic with losing her MP3. And I must say, her elimination was rigged because from the time she noticed it, from when she freaked out, was hours, like a good 10 hours. Like, why wasn't she freaking out beforehand? Like, back in like what was it, 2007? I forget when this was made, but around that time, MP3 players were very popular, and almost if you had the money to get it, you got it. So basically, she got screwed over, but still, Eva would sadly still go home. Now, the dodgeball episode, I would be pretty decent. I'm actually pretty good at dodgeball. I can get a few people out before I get myself out, but I would still be doing. Well, I would probably try and help get Duncan up, but I wouldn't be as nice about it like Courtney was in the show. But Duncan and me would, as a result, not be on the best of terms and probably bully me a bit alongside Harold. But I would still say we would win thanks to Duncan's strategy. So that means the Screaming Gophers finally lose. And like in canon, Noah would go home. Yeah, it sucks Noah got eliminated that soon, but it's whatever. Let's see, the talent show. I don't really have a talent, so I would just be. So the normal skills would just be Jeff, DJ, and Bridget. Jeff would obviously destroy his board. Oh, I should probably put the Gophers on. So it'll be Justin, Trent, and Heather, because most of the Gopher stuff would, honestly, I would not be impacting that much up until probably the merge. Let's see. Jeff would destroy his board, and then Harold would take his place, so winning it for the Screaming Gopher, or for the Killer Bass. And we should probably have Heather show how she can convince to vote out Justin instead of saying it. But still, Justin would still be eliminated. The outdoor episodes. I know a good amount of outdoor stuff since I've been camping a lot, but so I would be able to help out a bit, but we would still probably get the tent burned down thanks to Bridget. But Katie and Sadie will still get lost. Trent would be telling Heather off for reading Gwen's diary, because the fact he just nonchalantly said it in the episode was really stupid. He really should be telling him off. But yeah, most of the same stuff happened in canon, except the Hook story. Duncan and Heather would, or not, why did I say Heather? Duncan and Courtney would not be calling since she's been eliminated already. But that leaves these two as the ones that are up for elimination. And just like in canon, Katie's out. Let's see, the Fear Factor episode. I'm pretty scared of spiders, to be honest. Same with Shauna, but I would still be able to pass since I could tell that was just a chef in a costume, because her reacting to that was ridiculous. So I would get a point for the team. Beth would lose. Beth would honestly lose since she said she was afraid of bugs, not worms like it showed in the show. Like, that was really stupid. To be honest, I would actually try and help DJ to encourage his fear. Like, honestly, it feels like he could have easily done it. I would have been a bit nicer than Courtney, but I still would have been able to help, and he would have gotten the second point. Tyler would actually get 2 points because he ate the chicken that he was given at the beginning of the episode and sat in the chicken coop like Chris instructed. So he would get 2 points because it was really stupid how Tyler did not get a single point despite him conquering his fear. Or not conquering, but showing that he still makes it. Bridget still loses hers. It would show Harold get beating by the ninjas, because frankly, the fact that he was overcome, he basically was swinging the nunchucks and they were afraid of him, but then just knocks himself out is stupid. He would attempt to beat him, but then still get lost. Jeff would still lose his since it's obviously just hail and it doesn't say how he can overcome this fear, just letting it pelt him, like, But Duncan and Sadie would still. Oh, wait. Sadie would still beat it, just like Lindsay would, and Duncan, will he? We'll get back to him because there's a little plot point that I have for him. Let's see. For the Screaming Gophers, Trent beats her fear, or his fear. Heather does. Noah or Owen and Izzy does. Let's see. Lashana, Beth, and Cody don't. Gwen does. So. I feel like I miscalculated when I was doing this, because now, wait, no, 2 points for Tyler, that's right, there. But yeah, for Duncan to just tie it, or he would have to say what his fear is, because when they were sharing his fear, he didn't want to say his fear, and Courtney basically forced him to. So, for him to win, or just tie it, he had to share his fear and then do it. Because I'm sure Chef and Chris already know what his fear is. He just has to admit it in front of everyone and then do it. And honestly, I feel like he actually could with some encouragement from the rest of the team. So it would be a 6-6 tie, and it would be a reward, so no one would get eliminated this time. Because frankly, this elimination is still stupid. Tyler got screwed over for no reason. The Boney Island episode. Let's see. The teams would be Jeff and DJ, me and Bridget, Duncan and Harold, and Tyler and Sadie for the Killer Bass, and the teams in man, I cannot speak. But the teams for the Screaming Gophers would still stay canon. So Trent, Lindsay, and Beth, Heather and Owen, Gwen and Cody, and Izzy and Lashana. Bridget would probably tell me about the gift, and honestly, I would just be honest and say it's more than likely the thought that matters, and not what the gift is. Yeah. Is it bad? More than likely, yeah, but it would be probably the thought that matters more than anything. Jeff and DJ's still go to our conversation still goes as canon. We would still go right, so we would get to the campsite first. Jeff's splinter plot would not happen whatsoever, or if it did, it would probably have to actually be something interesting, like probably like an animal attack, and he had some scrapes and bruises on it. I know they can't show that in a kids show, but just saying it's a splinter and it's basically so minute that no one can see is so stupid. Beth still takes the idol. Uh, Harold still throws the oars in. Izzy still gives us the win, and Izzy's ran off by the RCMP, so she is out. Let's see. Next episode, the cooking one. Wait, no, that's no the not the cooking one. Man, I really should have wrote down the episodes because I do have a list on how things go. I just forget which episode is which. So it's the paintball episode. So let's see. For the hunters, it would be Tyler, Harold, Jeff, and Bridget. DJ, get over. So it's DJ, me, Duncan, and Sadie as deer. And let's put the hunters where they are here. Okay, so that means Lindsay, Beth, Lashana, and Owen are the hunters, while Trent, so Trent, actually, I don't he barely was in this episode, the more I think about it. Wow, that actually is sad. But yeah, Trent, Heather, Gwen, and Cody are all deer. Let's see. Beth would still leave Heather's alliance. Oh yeah, I probably should have brought that up. Back in episode 3, she did still make the alliance with Beth and Lindsay. So they are, but Beth now actually leaves the alliance, like because in the next episode she apparently is back, which is stupid. But Cody, or no, not Cody. Yeah, the stuff with Heather, Cody, and no, Heather, Cody, and Beth still happens, and Lindsay and Lashana. So this little plot line still happens. So Cody gets attacked by a bear, but me and Duncan would actually get stuck together instead of Courtney and Heather, because we would still have an ongoing rivalry. He would bully me, but I would still fight back since I was actually a victim of childhood bullying, to be honest. So I would be standing up for myself more than ever. But we would probably get into a verbal fight, to be honest, making things worse between us. We would still get back, and probably one of us would probably go for the Kiwis. I don't know which one, because I'm not sure if I would, but Duncan definitely would. So I would say Duncan hits me in the Kiwis. So yeah. Let's see. Like I said, Cody would still get attacked by a bear, but instead of the vote, Cody would be medically evacuated, because the fact that he wasn't for some reason is stupid, because in the future they do medically evac people like Izzy, Wayne, Raj. I feel like I'm forgetting a few, but yeah, those. Oh, Derek from Redunculous Race, he's also medically evacuated. Like I know it's season 1, so they weren't thinking about it, but still, Cody is out because he has to get medically evacuated out, not because he's voted out. Okay, now the cooking episode. The Harold Underwood plotline would probably still go on. I would not be joining in because I don't want to bully, but I would not stop since it's still disgusting that he, for some reason, is leaving his dirty underwear around. Jeff still becomes the head chef, and same with Heather. Let's see. On appetizers, it would be Tyler, Harold, and Sadie. For the meals, it would be DJ and Bridget, and on dessert, it would be me and Duncan, and we would probably be fighting a bit. Well, we do. I know a fair bit about cooking. Oh, wait, I should probably let's see, dessert. So, and Trent is concussed, so he's out. So yeah, appetizers. It's Beth and Lashana. the meal would be Owen and Trent who got taken out this episode, and dessert it's Gwen and wow, Lindsay. I forgot her name. Yeah, I know a fair bit about cooking. I'm not the best at it, but I would still probably help get about 7 points in between me and Duncan probably fighting. But the Gopher stuff still happens, so she's locked in the freezer, to be honest. And by the end, let's see, 12. It would be 22-12 with the Bass winning. So we would win this round, and Heather's still locked in the freezer, but Lindsay still lets her out since she's still technically part of the alliance and calls out Beth's totem. And just like in canon, Beth is out. Okay, finally, the something that's actually kind of interesting. So, what was it? The trust challenge. So the first challenge would still be DJ and Duncan versus Heather and Gwen. I would still say Heather and Gwen win round 1 for them. Let's see, Jeff and Bridget would be team 2 against Lindsay and Tyler. Jeff and Bridget would win round 2, and Jeff is still given Bunny by DJ, and then gets itself eaten. For challenge 3, which is the apple one, it would be Lashana and Owen versus Tyler and Sadie. Now, Sadie would still go crazy for it. And basically I forget English, but still go crazy and injure Tyler because he kept getting hit by the apples. So that would be Gophers 2, Bass 1. And challenge 4, it would be Harold and me, and I feel like me and Harold would be able to get along and trust each other. But then in challenge for the Gophers, it would still be Heather and Lindsay, and they would lose, giving it a 2-2. I would still say Duncan still gets the new bunny, and Tyler actually would see this since he would be in the med tent instead of Courtney. For the last one, it would be who had it? It was Lashana and Gwen, I believe, versus Jeff and DJ for the final one. Jeff and DJ would still lose since he cheated, but Tyler would keep the secret after talking to Duncan about it because he was basically forced to. And like in Ken, he would be kind of hard. He would be basically hard for him to keep the secret. So, but let's see. Oh, and so the Killer Bass would still lose, and Sadie would be eliminated because she basically had no plot relevance, and I didn't even want to bother giving her one because she was just that terrible. I wanted to put her somewhere in between 7 and 10, but there was no way to truly get rid of her without it truly doing stuff. Let's see. It would be the boot camp episode. So the canoe one, Lindsay would still be the first out. Let's see. I would start getting annoyed with how hard Duncan is bullying Harold, and me and let's see. Tyler would accidentally say this secret when I was talking to Tyler how terrible of a person he is, because yeah. Let's see. Actually, no. I have it written down differently. Oops. So, actually, I would confront Duncan about it, and Tyler would accidentally spill the beans trying to defend him. But I would still give him harsh, but see him in a different light. I promised to keep the secret if he stopped bullying Harold, and he would. So, after the canoe stuff, and the meal, he probably would not be bullying Harold anymore for the rest of the episode. For the essay one, who got eliminated for that? Honestly, I forget who eliminated. I just remember Trent got eliminated. Let's see. Would Tyler be able to? I forget. Yeah, I think he barely would. So, let's see. As for the essay, I barely would not be able to. I forget which one of these two. Oh, it was DJ. So Trent and DJ would be out. But yeah, I think I would barely pass the essay because I'm not really a good at essays, but I would get eliminated in the mud course, to be honest, because I would not be quick enough. Duncan would still get sent to the boathouse, and honestly, seeing Duncan in a different light, I would go check up on him, to be honest. And honestly, I feel like we would squash our beef with each other and become friends, and steal food from Chris and Chef, just to solidify our friendship, to be honest. Because I would still not be on the best of terms with him, but I would still respect him because the fact he got DJ a new pet was really nice, to be honest. For the final one, it was Heather, uh, Owen, and Gwen versus, was it? I forget who was in there, but it would be Jeff. I don't remember if Bridget was, but Jeff, Tyler, and I feel like I'm missing someone, but I don't. Oh, wait, Courtney was. It was Courtney, but she was already out. So it'll be these three versus these two, and let's see. Jeff would be out. Oh, Heather would quit, and then Owen would fall right on top of her, leaving it to Gwen and Tyler. And honestly, I feel like Tyler would barely lose, to be honest. Or he would try and show off and then probably get himself eliminated, failing the team, meaning the Gophers lose. And as a result, Tyler got himself eliminated by trying to show off instead of going for the easy win. So, hey, but he made it a lot farther than we did last time. And honestly, his little plotline was actually. He didn't have much of a plotline, but I think he did a lot better than what he did in canon. Okay, the Extreme Sports Challenge. I would still say for Challenge 1, it will be Trent versus DJ, with DJ getting the first point. For Challenge 2, Lashana and Jeff still happen, and Lashana gets point 1 for the Gopher, so it's a 1-1. For the Extreme Challenge, it would be, let's see, Duncan and Harold versus Heather and Lindsay. So yeah, Bridget would ask me about the note, but I wouldn't be the one who wrote it because the plotline between Gwen and Bridget still happened. So trying to figure out who did the note. Yeah, Bridget would ask me, but I wouldn't be much of a poet guy, so I would say no, it wasn't me. Harold still sees Heather's boobies and get himself eliminated as a result, but still confesses to Lashana, who. Oh yeah, that would be up until the merge. So let's see. Izzy would come back in this episode, to be honest. So I'm just going to quickly. So it would still be boys versus girls. So we have an even split between boys and girls, to be honest. Let's see, but yeah. So the Heather's alliance still has Heather and Lindsay, but Izzy would formally join the alliance. Like, it would be shown, like, not too long after she comes back that she does join the alliance, because it basically secretly she does join the alliance. They just never put it on screen, to be honest. Let's see. For the rounds, for the first round, actually, I'm not going to go too much in order, but I will say the girls do win a few, the guys do win a few, but in the end, it would still come down to Bridget and DJ not wanting to eat the wiener dog, doing the cockroach round, which Owen versus Lashana, and just like in canon, Owen wins, so the guys make it. So now we are at the merge. And since it's a reward, no one gets eliminated. Yeah, I'll say this was definitely this is pretty fun. If you guys want me to do action, just let me know, because I definitely would go into action. But for the no pain, no gain one, Eva would not come back, because frankly, we have too many competitors for that now, since we didn't eliminate anyone in the the Fear Factor episode. But yeah, so no Eva. Bridget would get the leeches off of Jeff, but so Bridget would still get the leeches in her spin, but Jeff would volunteer, getting him out. Let's see. So I forget exactly where, but I don't remember how this is, but Bridget would choose Duncan to do the Saskatchewanakwa one. He comes out but is a bit bruised but still is in, meaning Bridget is out as well. I would say show how Duncan and Heather got out, and a few others, but still it would probably come down. But I would still probably get probably fifth out because I do have a good pain tolerance. I would still probably after a while say, okay, I had enough, I'm out. So I would probably get fifth. So, and since no one else really is strong enough, besides, so Lashana still wins. So, but without Eva here, Heather is out since no one else can. Everyone hates her with how terrible she's been. So let's see. Since it was random, everyone still gets the same keys, leaving me to have Heather's. And I don't know who I. So I forgot to type a name. So someone else. So let's see. I'm trying to remember who I put. So I would get Heather's. And who wasn't here in canon? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. But someone would get oh no, I'm stupid. So for some reason I was thinking Owen is the bear one because I'm thinking ahead of the season. So I would still get Heather's key. So I would be having to get it from Chef's fridge, and I was an idiot. I would be decent. I would have been decent as chef. So and wouldn't be trying to be mean to him throughout the season. So maybe I would have some respect for him since he is a decent cook, so he wouldn't be trying to hurt me, but he would still try to stop me though. I would probably wait for him to sleep like Heather, but go through the back door instead of the roof. Because honestly, frankly, the fact that they went through the roof for some reason is stupid, so I would get the key. Let's see. I would talk to Owen and Lindsay to see if they wanted to form an alliance to help get Owen's key, but I think it would still go work, but I forget if I put everyone would still get their key because let's see. I was trying to remember how I put it because it has been a hot minute since I made this. Let's see. Everyone who canonically got their key still gets their key. Owen actually does get something this time because the fact he got nothing despite fighting a bear is stupid. But since I got Chef's fridge, I would get invincibility. Let's see. I would so since it's me, Owen, and Izzy in an alliance, that would be 3 votes, but we would still need a few more for the plan. Let's see. I would try to convince Duncan, Jeff, and Bridget to help get out Lashana. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't Bridget. It was DJ. You know, I would still probably try to get Bridget as well. So it would be let's see. Actually, no, we don't even need Bridget because it would be even if these 5 target one, it would be a 6-5 vote, meaning Lashana would be eliminated right after her massive win. I'm sure she would get it basically do something well. But basically I would start a second alliance with these 6, but these 2 would be the main ones since I know these 2 can easily be manipulated. Now I wouldn't say I would be the main villain, but I would be a little strategic, making sure because I have even back then I have watched a lot of like the reality like shows, stuff like that. So I would have a general knowledge. Will that come back to haunt me? Who knows? But I would say Gwen and Trent officially start dating, and no, they don't. They actually do. So without Heather here, they wouldn't be breaking up. Let's see. For the next episode, so the hide and seek episode. So Lindsay still panics and gets out first. Let's see. So since there's more guys now, there would be no guys alliance, but so that's out. So for where I would hide. So the barrel where they do the eliminations, I would hide in there. would it work? Let's find out. But yeah, that's where I would be hiding, because honestly, that seems like a really good spot to hide, to be honest. Let's see. The Chef and Izzy stuff still happens, but Bridget would sadly still knock over some stuff, and me in it, getting. But since I wasn't in front of the skunk when it happened, Bridget sadly still gets sprayed by skunks. I would just be smell a little since I'm safe. But as a result, both me and Bridget are sadly out as well. Let's see. Owen and DJ would still probably get broken through the roof, so they would be out. And Lindsay would tell Chef, getting her immunity. So Lindsay is the first one to get immunity. Jeff would still be in a tree. Duncan would still be in his cave. Gwen would be in the grass. I would say Trent hides in the boat shack, to be honest. Because honestly, that seems like a place where I hide. Duncan would still get found, but I feel like Trent, since he's probably close to it, he would be able to make it. So it would be Bridget, or not Bridget, Lindsay and Trent getting immunity this time. So since Bridget's not in the group, and he almost got me injured because I was in a barrel and I fell down, almost getting concussed probably. I would try and convince my team. Let's see, who was the team again? Oh yeah, these guys. So I would try and convince my alliance to vote out Bridget for the reasons why. I'm sure these two would agree. Duncan probably would. DJ would be a little hesitant, but probably do it because she probably after the smell. Jeff probably still wouldn't. But so that would be a 5. But who would these guys vote for? Honestly, I don't really know. We would still try and tell Jeff. If he tells her, he will be the one eliminated instead. So it still feels like the smell alone would get these guys to eliminate Bridget. So sadly, Bridget's out. Let's see, the next episode. I'm trying to remember what that was. I would say for this episode, Glenn and Duncan will be hanging out and just hanging out as friends, and Trent would be a little jealous, to be honest. Jeff still is a bit heartbroken over Bridget being eliminated, so that's still a plot line. So, oh yeah, it's the biking episode. So, Izzy would still probably get herself immune from it since she's not here, and she would probably take DJ instead because it would be fun. So, let's see. So for the bikes that are still the same, so it'll be Gwen, Duncan. So the people who are here, so me and Trent are not here, but I still feel like everyone else. So Gwen, or Duncan, Jeff, Lindsay, and Owen would probably still stay the same. Mine would be decent, but it wouldn't be the best. So it'll probably be an average bike, but I still will remember the Bolt Jeff. But Trent, since he wants to open a bike shop, I would say is probably very good, to be honest. So I did spin a wheel for the ones who weren't here to get a bike. So Jeff would get Gwen's bike. Gwen would get Owen's bike, like in canon. Owen would get Duncan's bike. Duncan would get Lindsay's bike. Lindsay would get mine, and Trent would get Jeff's. Trent would crash since Jeff forgot his bolt, so Jeff is out. But as a result, causing Jeff and Lindsay to actually crash as well. So that means I am out since my bike crashed. Let's see, and I'm trying to remember because I do have the list. Let's see. So Jeff, who did Jeff have again? Oh yeah, Gwen. So that means the ones who are out are me, Gwen, and Jeff, and these two are still not even participating, leaving Owen, Duncan, Trent, and Lindsay. So let's see. For the final round, Owen would still get hit by the landmines, meaning he's out. Duncan would still fail in the oil slick, leaving Trent and Lindsay. I would still say Trent wins because his bike is, since he wants to make a bike shop, I'd still feel like he would have the knowledge to win. But I'm changing the elimination. Instead of the last to cross, it'll be whoever wins gets to pick who is eliminated. It would put a target on his back, but I feel like that would be a lot better than what we have. So honestly, with how jealous Trent is right now, Duncan would be eliminated due to him not thinking straight. Gwen would be kind of annoyed. Same with Jeff and DJ, and probably even Owen. And I would, because then that would be one of my alliance mates basically gone. So in the horror movie episode, I do like horror movies. I really would. I would basically be like the similar to Gwen, having a good knowledge of it. And Lindsay would still get scared, but Trent isn't scared, but doesn't exactly like the horror movie stuff since it feels like it's too unrealistic and gory for his liking. Owen and Izzy still get hook up together in this episode. Gwen and Trent would start getting in the form of possibly breaking up, getting an alliance due to Trent's jealousy. Let's see. They would still leave the Trent. Man, I really should have scripted this out more, but Chef and Chris still leave, unknowingly telling us about the killer. Trent would question if the challenge, but still goes along with it. So, Gwen would go over the rules for it. Let's see. Owen and Izzy still get caught by making out, and Owen offers Izzy to the killer. So these two are out. DJ will still have to take a whiz, and Jeff goes with him to keep him guard, though gets distracted by an ice cream truck. Honestly, without Heather here, I was wondering how DJ would scare off, but since his nerves are a wreck, I would still say probably like just a wild animal or even a bug scares him off, and he starts running, causing him to get eliminated as well. Me and Trent would decide to go get some weapons from the kitchen, like in Canon, and find the brownies and knives. We were about to as Chef was coming in and about to attack us, we would probably try to attack him, but Chef would stop us before we killed him, getting both of us out. Jeff would then get himself out, leaving Lindsay and Gwen left. I don't know why I put Duncan fights Chef. He's out. Must have been first draft. I would still say Lindsay would let's see. I'm trying now to think of how Lindsay would perform. I would still think she would get pretty scared, to be honest. And I still think Gwen wins in the end since she beat the psycho killer. Now, it didn't say exactly how DJ was eliminated, but we're still going to eliminate him. But since he performed the worst at surviving a horror movie, I would say either Jeff or Lindsay would probably get worse, but since DJ didn't even see the killer and got himself out, he definitely would get himself eliminated there. Let's see. I believe this was the the hunting episode. So Owen would still try and get back with Izzy after basically sacrificing herself. So Jeff, Gwen, Owen, and Izzy still have their canon animals. So, but I spun a wheel to decide who Lindsay, me, and Trent would get. Let's see. I would have gotten the raccoon. Lindsay would have gotten the frog, and Trent would have gotten the bear. It would be 5 minutes instead of 1 minute instead of the boathouse, because a minute is very stupid, to be honest. Let's see. Trent would try and offer Gwen some help, but she takes it, but is still a bit annoyed with him being jealous and a bit clingy. It would try to work things out, but it'll be a little more tense than normal. Since Lindsay would hesitate since the frogs are slimy, to be honest. Trent would use fish to lure out the bear here, and I would actually be able to just try and grab the raccoon, since honestly the raccoons are kind of pretty cute. Would they still go into mega form? I would still say yeah, because that was a funny scene. Let's see. I still say Gwen wins, and for some reason this wasn't an immunity challenge. She gets immunity, because frankly, the fact that she was in the bottom two for some reason is stupid. The ones who would get it back would be still a Jeff, Trent, me. Come on, move over. Me, Owen, and Lindsay would be able to get ours. Izzy would still not be able to hit her deer, and since she was the only one to not get it and still went on a shooting spree, she would be automatically eliminated. Let's see, for the next episode, I'm trying to remember what this was. Oh yeah, the Tri-Arm Triathlon. So the teams would be Gwen and Trent, since their relationship is kind of rocky. Owen and Jeff, and that means me and Lindsay. Now, me and Lindsay would probably be... I would get annoyed with how dumb Lindsay is, but I know she wouldn't be at... Because I have dealt with annoying people, and I can tell if they're being generally stupid or just annoying stupid, and Lindsay is just generally stupid, so I wouldn't be as harsh with her as normal. Let's see. For the eater would be Gwen, Owen, and me. So, and I'm sure Lindsay would not be wanting to eat it. Owen obviously would win it for the team, but Trent would be a bit forceful by accident when feeding Gwen, causing him to have an argument during the canoe ride about how forceful and how he's been acting. Beth's totem was still put in the septic tank for some reasons, since she flushed it instead of getting rid of it in her elimination episode. Jeff would get on top of Owen, Lindsay would get on top of me, since I'm sure she's a bit lighter than me, and Gwen would get would be on Trent. Owen would still get scared off by a spider, to be honest, so that they would be out for this round. Woolly Beavers would chase me and Lindsay out, causing us to basically get out, leaving Trent and Gwen to basically win round 2. Trent would make... Oh, wait, no, that's... Trent would make some rude comments about Duncan as on their ride back, or as they were arguing, and Gwen would just have enough of it and probably just break up with him, probably in there. Honestly, remembering who would get eliminated, since these two are arguing and these two are not the smartest, I feel like me and Lindsay would be able to figure it out, because I'm sure Lindsay would be able to think hard enough to figure out who people she likes. Like, I'm sure she would be able to remember definitely Justin, maybe Beth, since she's her best friend, maybe even Cody, and I'm sure Tyler for sure, and maybe even Heather. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we would get round 3, so everyone has a chance to get eliminated, but seeing how bad Trent has been acting, we would all honestly vote him out, to be honest, because frankly, he has not been the best one. Now for the episode that really, really sucks, to be honest. The pool bar group still happens, because they were honestly a very funny thing. Trent would not be that popular with how he's been acting. Eva and Tyler would be a bit more competitive, since he probably was bragging a bit how good he was and how I don't know. There's something about it. Those two would be a bit competitive. Courtney wouldn't be trying to hurt Harold, since she got voted out the normal way and not through a rigged vote. Lashana would sadly still dump Harold for some reason. Trent would tell Duncan and go. Oh yeah, he would tell Duncan to have Gwen, because frankly he's done with her. With how he basically is very clingy and jealous. Don't worry, if we do a season 2 for action, I'll probably bring up that kind of plot hole, or not plot hole, that story in that season. But those two would be told they can have each other without jealous Trent as being. Heather would still be kind of ostracized, but Harold would honestly start to like her and probably be at least friends with her, showing that she, just like in the special, that they would start. This is where their friendship would actually start. So the voting one, to be honest, it still would probably still go the same. So I still feel like Lindsay would still get eliminated, sadly, due to the popularity stuff's going on. But honestly, I feel like a twist would happen though. Like each one would say how a competitor they want to win the most is, and I feel like a lot of people would say Lindsay because she's an underdog, and as a result, Lindsay is actually the one eliminated. So this episode really is stupid. I'll just quickly go over it because frankly, this out of every episode in Total Drama the series, this is the only one I truly see as a filler episode. This is 100% a filler episode, to be honest. Owen still goes a bit crazy. Jeff relaxes. Gwen tries to make a raft. I take a look around and find the shelter. Jeff panics seeing the skull, but me and Gwen snap him out of it. We make a plan, and Jeff goes to grab food, stealing the dino egg. Owen still soon arrives, and we get trapped by a snake. We share our darkest secrets, and Mr. Coconut is sadly eliminated. Sadly, there is no Mr. Coconut in this sheet I have. So now for the episode that really is a lot better than this one by a country mile. So the teams would be me and Jeff and Gwen and Owen. Me and Jeff would get the map, bug spray, and sleeping bags and binoculars, while Gwen and Owen get the compass and food. I feel like there should have been more, but the food is definitely an important one. Me and Jeff would head in one direction till we find something recognizable. Soon finding a river and just following it downstream, because I know about the river thing, so that would help. I don't think we would steal from each other since we're all pretty friendly with each other and not trying to want each other out. Soon we all make it back to camp and run back. Owen still goes for the sticky buns while me and Jeff get the win. And since Chef picks who is eliminated, he would pick Owen for stealing his sticky buns. So final three are Gwen, me, and Jeff. So honestly, I would probably still get eliminated because we've seen these two do a lot more nastier and gnarlier things. Because Jeff went through the septic tank for cologne and was excited about it. So that's basically. I feel like I messed up a few episodes. Either way. So I don't know what happened there, but still. So yeah, I would probably still get out, to be honest, and Gwen was in this episode shown to do some pretty nasty things. It'll probably go to a little bits, but since Owen's not here, some of the things can't happen. I would probably still just refuse the haircut from Chef. But instead of like how Heather does it, I would just say, nope, I quit. But yeah, so the finalists would be Gwen and Trent, or Gwen and Jeff, to be honest. And if I would have to make a canon winner, it would probably be Jeff, to be honest. Wrong buttons. Yeah. Oh yeah, the winner. So yeah, basically, yeah, this is the winner. So I don't know exactly what happened in my calculations, but I don't know. So either way, so Gwen takes second place, and it was pretty clear that Jeff would be the wins since Owen's is the exact opposite. So Owen would definitely struggle more, but since Jeff is more fit, he would clearly be able to get through and honestly win. So Jeff is our winner for season 1. Honestly, I actually did not think I would make it that far, to be honest. But the fact that I took third is actually kind of interesting, not gonna lie. But still, I feel like this was actually a pretty good, not gonna lie. If you guys like it, just like, subscribe, all that stuff. Maybe give this a like and share it with your friends, because this did do a lot of work. I had to go through each episode and think strategically how how I would change the game compared to everything else. But still, if you guys like this enough, you want if this video gets to probably like 10 likes, I would probably do season 2 not too long after. Probably like give me a month or two to because I still want to do other like experimental videos, to be honest. But if you guys like this, I definitely would do this again. But I guess for now, thank you all for watching this. I will see you whatever I post next, I guess. Bye, guys.